New Year's resolution number 1. Be more regular in my uploads again. Hola! Today's manga is a mixture of Tokyo Revengers and just the dumbest manga you know. It is called Demon's Star and is written by Abe Shuji and illustrated by Mikuni Shin. It started serializing in November of, oh my god, last year, so 2021, which is last year now, oh my god. And as always, when I talk about something that's completely new, I don't know if there is any English version available because I don't read them. So I don't know, but if one of your resolutions maybe was to learn Japanese finally, then do it! So I feel like manga about delinquency have existed for a long time, but kind of had a comeback recently. I don't know if that's just thanks to Tokyo Revengers or if that was just the one that stood out the most. But yeah, I'm here for it. And so while Tokyo Revengers can be funny, today's manga is definitely on the comedy side of things, so let's get into it. Our protagonist is a boy called Yusuke, and we get a brief intro to his life. He lost his family when he was little, and his relatives took all his money. And because of that, he knew he had to give his all when it comes to his education, and he had really high hopes for his future schooling. He actually wants to be a lawyer one day, so he's aiming pretty high, in my opinion. But when he tried to write the entrance exam for his high school of choice, like his number 1 choice, a car ran him over and he couldn't go. So he went to take the entrance exam for his second choice, but then again something happened and this time he was accused of theft. So he couldn't go again. And this basically goes on and on, like with his third choice and fourth choice, and all this time crazy stuff happens and he can't attend any of the entrance exams until he's all out of options. And the only school that's left that he can even apply to is this school that is like known for delinquency and like all these bad guys and who always fight. You know the kind of school I'm talking about. And of course, Yusuke is completely devastated because not only does he feel that his dream of becoming a lawyer is in danger, but also his life, because he's totally not the type of dude who would hang with that sort of crowd. Yeah, so one day he goes home and then he sees a fortune teller on the street or something like that. I think he's a fortune teller type of guy. And this fortune teller sees Yusuke and he's like, oh my god, what the fuck is this unlucky aura? But Yusuke is like, yo, I'm suffering, like, can you not? But then the guy just tells him that Yusuke is gonna die within 3 months. So Yusuke begs the guy to help him out somehow, so the fortune teller gives him a book. And on this book, future diary is written. So it's, yeah, like Mirai Nikki, but like they say Mirai no Nikki. And yes, it's exactly what you think. It's basically like his diary from the future. And this tells him everything that's gonna happen or like has happened basically, including his death. The fortune teller tells him that he can change his fate, but if he keeps on going like this, that is over. And he will definitely be killed by a demon. And you will know what this is about when you read on. At home, Yusuke reads this diary and he's obviously going crazy over everything that's inside it. And so over the next few days, he kind of tests it out, like sees if the stuff really happens the way it is described in the diary. And things actually come true. He knows that this diary is the real deal. He's sure that he's fucked, but you know, he has to worry about other stuff as well, like how to survive the school. And so a delinquent guy teaches him some stuff. And by the way, so in Japanese, like each time you see something translated as delinquent, this basically is huryo in Japanese. And huryo, when you look at the kanji, it just means not good. So like bad news kinda. And I don't really know if like delinquent is such a perfect translation, but yeah, so keep an eye out for this word, or like your ears open, I guess. And anyways, so this Huryo guy teaches him what slurs to call people and, you know, how to scream properly, because he knows, okay, this guy ain't no fighter. He's not gonna go out there, you know, slapping people, hitting people, and just getting in fights. He knows all he has is like his attitude, I guess. And Yusuke even dyes his hair and makes like one of these typical Furio hairstyles. But his main goal is basically to avoid everyone and not get in trouble and just not form any sort of relationships with anyone. But according to his diary, there are two people he has to look out for. And one of them is a guy called Sato. And Sato is the guy who's apparently responsible for his demise. So he's like the demon who's gonna get him. And the other guy is a boy called Ren. And Ren is actually the guy he wants to befriend. Because similar to him, Ren was hospitalized for a long time, and so he couldn't attend the exams as well. But actually, he has really good grades, and so just like Yusuke, Ren is also at the school for like the wrong reasons, basically. But yeah, Yusuke got to the school safely, but you know, as his luck would have it, he hears screaming and people are riled up and are like, oh my god, it's a fight already, how cool. And wouldn't you know, Ren and Sato are actually fighting, and now Yusuke doesn't know what to do because he needs Ren, but on the other hand, he doesn't want, you know, Sato's attention. He does end up saving Ren though, and they become friends. And Yusuke manages to kind of like win several fights throughout the chapters. I mean, there aren't many chapters available yet, but you can kind of see where the story goes. And so he wins fights and stuff like that by pure chance. And like, he doesn't want to fight. He's always like in a panic mode, you know? But through like coincidences, he just, you know, manages to hit people or stuff like that, and so everyone suddenly starts to respect him, and Ren is on his side, and he continuously misinterprets things that Yusuke says, and like each time Yusuke declares his fear, basically Ren comes along and tells the masses what he means, and what he means is like, oh, he's gonna start a war with everyone, whatever, and he's gonna get to the top, blah blah blah. And people think he's like this strong, crazy dude. And from here on out, he has to keep up his facade. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for now. So this manga doesn't take itself seriously at all. So far, there hasn't been a single serious moment whatsoever. Like, even when Yusuke finds out about his oncoming demise, it's like portrayed as a joke, which is obviously fine in a comedy. I just wanted to stress that this is a pure comedy, at least so far. What I like about stories such as this one is that when you just look at Yusuke's life, you know, how unlucky he was and everything, you could easily make a drama out of it, you know? Like, think about how many drama manga start with someone losing their parents, you know? That alone could be like a whole thing. And yeah, this guy, Yusuke, he's so unlucky, it's unbelievable. Not a single good thing happens in his life. And yet, you know, this manga can really cheer you up and be like, yeah, hey man, whatever, life goes on, right? And that is really the power of comedy. Admittedly, I don't really care for the characters so far, but we'll see if that changes. If there is no depth, then it's really hard to be invested emotionally. But again, I'm not sure if we're even supposed to care that much. I think this manga just really wants to make you laugh. I also like stories with weak protagonists who suddenly find themselves in a position where they have to be strong, or at least act like it. You know, like in Sailor Moon, for example. And in this story, Yusuke doesn't really become strong, like in a physical sense, but he's suddenly seen as this crazy, strong guy, and he needs to keep up appearances, you know, just to survive in this world that he never even wanted to be a part of. The humor is not for everyone, but I think that goes without saying. It is kind of gag-like, and a lot of it derives from their facial expressions and various misunderstandings. And I personally found those really funny, but I'm a little afraid that it could potentially be a little repetitive, But for now, I don't really have much else to say about the characters or the story. Yeah, so I quickly want to say something about the art instead. They overdo it with the faces sometimes. Like, it doesn't have to be that loud, you know? And Yusuke has this one particular face he does all the time. And it's funny once or twice, but after a while you're just like, all right, I get it. And it just gets a little annoying. The character design is fine, but I need to point out one thing about the anatomy. Now, I know, okay, that anatomy in manga isn't supposed to look like real life anatomy. They're not supposed to look like actual human beings. I mean, there are exceptions, of course, but usually in manga, I mean, just look at fucking One Piece, right? However, I still think you need to be a little familiar with anatomy, or else, you know, your characters won't look that great. And what bothers me a little bit here is everyone's hips are really broad. You know, usually man's hips don't really look like that. And I'm not saying no dude has hips like this, you know, of course they exist, but like every single character, like it's the norm for everyone to have like these white hips, and it just looks like women's hips. Cause like even when you look at those books that teach you how to draw manga or whatever, and you look at the male anatomy, it's not supposed to look like that. But yeah, obviously that's something you can ignore. It's not that terrible, but it is a little though. Just once I noticed, it became super irritating to me. Other than that, it's really okay art. He really tries to add a lot of comedy through the art. And yeah, as I said, I think he really wants to make the faces as funny as possible. And you know, that's kind of, depending on who you are and what you like, this is hit or miss, I guess. But yeah, this is where I'll end it for this video. I feel really bad that I didn't upload any sooner. I mean, not that people are like waiting really hard for an upload, but still, I really want to try to get back into my schedule of like weekly uploads. So, and yeah, obviously I hope everybody had a great New Year's Eve and Christmas and all that. And yeah, it's January already, but Happy New Year. Now, if you check out this manga, then let me know what you think in the comments below. So hopefully see you next week, and until then, I hope you have a good day. Bye bye!